Olivia Rodrigo and her song Driver's License. This song is challenging for a particular reason, which I will share during this video, but I thought it would be fun to have a listen to Olivia Rodrigo's recent live performance of Driver's License on SNL. This just happened on May 16th. I had not seen it before, but I have heard the song, so I know the song, but I've not seen this video before. So let's listen to it together, and I will share my thoughts on the song and also why this song is actually very, very challenging.
Ladies and gentlemen, Olivia Rodrigo!
Driver's license last week, just like we always talked about. Cause you were so excited for me to finally drive up to your house. But today I drove through the suburbs crying cause you weren't around.
So as I'm listening to that, I love the textures of her voice. What people may not realize is that when you're singing so quietly, but you're still trying to deliver emotion and you're doing it in an understated way, it's actually a lot more challenging than belting out a high note oftentimes, because it's easy to run out of breath. So if you're singing this song and even getting through this first verse is a challenge because you feel that you're running out of breath, my recommendation is just to break up the phrasing a little bit more, take a couple sneak breaths here and there, or you can increase a little bit more vocal tone. So you kind of need to have a happy middle. You either have a little bit more vocal tone, a little bit more of that vocal tone coming through so you're not leaking air, or you go a little bit breathier because maybe you like that texture of the voice, but then you're gonna have to break up your phrasing to replenish your air supply, because the breathier you are, the more air you're leaking, the quicker it is you're going to run out. So you kind of need to make a little bit of a choice there. So for Olivia Rodrigo, I think that she has a pretty good balance because she's not totally breathy, so she's not leaking so much air, but she is running almost to the tail end of her breath, where as a listener, I do feel like I want her to breathe. And maybe in a way this actually works well with the story or the message of the song or the emotion of the song, because oftentimes when we are emotional, we don't catch our breath or we forget to catch our breath. So maybe that was intentional in that way. Let's keep listening.
And you're probably with that blonde girl who always made me doubt. She's so much older than me. She's everything I'm insecure about. Yet today I drove through the shower.
I want to breathe.
How could I ever love someone?
Now that I said that, I do feel like this works really well, because when I'm listening to her, I'm feeling caught up in that I can't breathe because I'm so upset feeling, which actually works brilliantly with this song. So I don't know if she did that on purpose. I think it's brilliant.
And I know we weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one. And I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone.
I've always found it interesting how she's singing it this way. I actually don't teach my students to sing it this way if they are struggling vocally. So let me explain. I know we weren't perfect, but it never felt this way. Right, this middle section here is that first bridge of the voice, that first transition part. If you're having troubles navigating your way through there, and then on top of that, you're trying to sing in a very emotional, textural way, in the same way that Olivia Rodrigo is doing, where she's going a little bit more solid, and then has that solid sound, and then she goes into that falsetto area or quality in that upper note there, and she's doing that stylistically to create that vocal texture. That is actually quite hard to do if you have a lot of troubles in that first bridge. Even the way she's singing it now, I do feel that there's some tension happening. I don't know her voice well enough to know whether or not that is actually a choice. So I know that she belts the note later on as well, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. My recommendation is that try to sing the song solid and connected first. I know we weren't perfect, but I never felt this way for no one. So you're singing it in one even tone before you start to add in these textural qualities. At the end of the day, learning vocal technique is not so that you can have a perfect voice. It's so that you can have choices. So let's keep listening.
'Cause you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. 'Cause you said forever, now I drive along past your street.
Okay, so again, this exactly illustrates what I was trying to explain earlier. She's singing the first part, I know we weren't perfect, but I never felt this way. And she's going into that textural sound, not because she can't sing through the middle, but because she's doing that as a choice. Now, that's very different from somebody who is singing in a very similar way because they don't know how to connect. I hope that makes sense. And why do we know that she can connect? Because she just did here. You didn't mean what you wrote in the song about me. She's going full on connected, mixed tone, right through the middle of her voice. Beautiful.
All my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you, but I kinda feel sorry for them, 'cause they'll never know you the way that I do. Yeah, today I drove through the suburbs and pictured I was driving home to you.
So I want to show you something that I'm noticing as she's singing this, which I really like. What she's doing here is what I call anchor and lean, which is this idea of leaning down or accenting and bringing momentum and energy into your singing. And all my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you. So that's very different from, and all my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you. But you see, I'm in both instances, I'm still singing the same notes, but there's an energy or there's this driving force that is happening in the first example, and that's what she's doing here. And she's also doing it here in the next line. I kind of feel sorry for them, this bit, because they'll never know you the way that I do. And that's what I call an anchor and a lean. You're anchoring in and then you're leaning through the phrase. So let's listen to that again.
All my friends are tired of hearing how much I miss you, but I kinda feel sorry for them.
Here we go.
'Cause they'll never know you the way that I do.
You hear it? They'll never know you the way. I love that. That creates what I also call this bouncy voice effect. It's like your voice is bouncing along. That drives that energy and momentum, and it's not the same thing as volume. It's not like she's just going, and they'll never know you the way. That's totally a different thing, right? That's just me being louder on certain words. But it comes from a deeper place. Not easy to do, and it's subtle, but it makes a huge difference in the overall delivery of a performance.
Drove through the suburbs and pictured I was driving home to you. And I know you weren't perfect, but I've never felt this way for no one.
Okay, a little bit of tension there.
And I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone.
Okay, that was better. This is good because that second part there. I felt that she opened up a little bit more. I think sometimes when she sings, she has this sound quality that's very characteristic of her. I hear it in other songs that she's done as well. It's almost like she's creating this darker textural sound. I know we weren't perfect. It's almost there. But sometimes what that does, though, is that it stops you as a singer from really opening up. And if you don't open up when you're singing your higher notes, you're not creating that backspace, you're going to go flat. So that one little note, she did go a little flat, not a big deal, but super easy to avoid if she just opened up a little bit more, which she did in the second time she went up to the high note, and she executed that. I think she did that really well.
I guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me.
Oh, nice. That's different.
You said forever, now I drive alone past your street.
Nice. That was great. So same thing. She's belting it out, but she's still keeping that same thing that I mentioned before, that anchor and lean thing that I talked about, that you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. That downward energy. It's not just a you didn't mean what she's not throwing her voice out there. There is that internal downward energy. That's what I call an anchor and lean.
Red lights, stop signs, I still see your face in the white cars, front yards, can't drive past the places we used to go to, 'cause you know I still love you, babe.
This part is hard to do all up there. That's a C sharp. It's not that hitting the note itself, okay, let me put it this way. Hitting the note itself, yes, is challenging, but hitting the note repeatedly in the same vocal texture and the same dynamic level is challenging. What she's doing really well, she's still adding those anchor and lean. So she's leaning in, she's energizing her voice in the right way so that the voice can energize and travel out without it getting stuck up here. I almost feel like in the record she doesn't sing it up there. Am I right? For some reason, I'm thinking in the record she sings it lower, but I could totally be wrong. But anyway, she's singing up here. If you want to sing up in this note and you want to sing it in the same way, you cannot, one, be too loud, because the combination of singing too loud, a little bit too loud, but also struggling with your voice in certain parts of your range, the combination of those two together, chances are really high that you're probably going to use the wrong muscles. You're probably going to be using a lot of you're going to probably be borrowing a lot of effort from here, from your throat, to sing this song. Once or twice, fine. But if you're singing it da 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 da, and you're constantly going up there, you are going to be tired. You're definitely going to be tired. And then by the time you get to the verse after that, there's not a whole lot of time for you to recover, because she goes back up again and she sings the chorus again. So you got to be careful here. But I like how she's doing it in a way that her attention is not here. Her attention is, you almost see it in her body. She's like leaning down. It's singing smarter, not harder. See it, right? There's the accent. And she's opening up.
I've never felt this way for no one, and I just can't imagine how you could be so okay now that I'm gone.
There's that back sound that I was mentioning earlier. I like it in her voice, and it comes in here and there, and I like how she's using it. Sometimes there's some singers I feel that overuse that sound. I'm gone here, and it's all over their song. For me, when I listen to that, it's not that I think it sounds bad. It's just I start to notice that sound too much in a way. Like I almost want to hear some variety, and I think that she has a really nice variety here. And I want to say, after she's just belted those high notes for that period of time, and she's getting emotional as well, and she's vocally that's challenging. Then the music drops, and then she's got to go back into this quieter dynamics. That is not easy, and that comes from singing the song over and over and over again, and knowing every single part to the point where you can do it in your sleep. Because it's really hard to go from that emotionally charged place to suddenly pulling back and reining everything in, and then being controlled in a quieter, more subtle, but still emotionally charged way.
Guess you didn't mean what you wrote in that song about me. 'Cause you said forever, now I drive alone past your street. Yeah, you said forever, now I drive alone past your street.
Very nice. So I liked the performance. I thought it was very captivating, and I thought she told a really good story. And the choices she's making are actually quite challenging. And that's why I said earlier there's a particular part about this song that's challenging, which is that chorus. Because in the chorus, the notes go from lower register, just the top of the lower register, into the middle of the voice, and then right into the transition, and then it blooms on just past that first bridge. And because it steps in that way, it's very easy to go loud or to make a wrong turn and start to use the wrong muscles and start to get bunched up here. So you have to be quite intentional. How do you want to navigate that section of the song? Do you want to go solid, more chest voice, and then flip to much more head voice or even falsetto on that one high note? Or do you want to go lighter, and then lean in the middle and then belt out that high note? Or do you want to mix and connect all the way through so you're not flipping or switching anywhere? It's just one continuous sound. What do you want to do? If you don't have a clue, if you don't know how you want to approach that middle section of the voice, then you're guessing, then it's going to be a lot harder to control and to sing that part of the song in a way that really allows you to tell the story, the emotional journey freely. I'd love to know what you think of the song and what your thoughts are on how Olivia Rodrigo performs this in this live version, but also if this is a song you've worked on personally, I'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and share your thoughts with me in the comments below. And if you like this video, please do give me a little thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and let me know if you have any more suggestions of songs that you'd like me to check out and review. Until next time.